In terms of the rest, you know, as I say, a long list. For those who have been sort of classed as doubtful for this weekend, are there some that you are more hopeful than others? Are there individuals who you'd be willing to say you are hopeful perhaps of being involved at the weekend?
Well, we trained today and we had minimal training. Then we got a session before we got to Catalans, and then we'll get to find out basically who's putting their hand up, and I can't tell you that just yet. There's a few doubtful. Stevie Ward's carrying something, Brett Delaney's carrying something, Matt Parcell's carrying something, Joel Moon's carrying something. Some of the, you know, and my guess is some will and some won't go to Catalans with us. I can't tell you who those are at the moment, but we're a pretty busted group right now.
Just how big an achievement would it be to put together a good run at this stage in the season, given the difficulty you're having with injuries at the moment?
It'll be a task. It'll be a challenge. There's no doubt. We need to win. We need to play well. There's a few things we need to do, but you recognise it's a task. It is a challenge to get that done, and you know, I don't think those challenges and tasks are going to become any easier over the next 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks, until we start getting some of those bigger men, some of those names back, some of those, and some rotation options as well within my squad. The same men out, just go out and do it again. The same men don't go do it again, and nobody's having a rest, nobody's having a session off, nobody's having training off, unless they're injured. And that doesn't look like easing up for at least another month.
Is this the worst you've ever seen?
No, as it always, no. That's my point. It absolutely isn't the worst I've ever seen. You know, and this is why I'm saying to everybody, hold your nerve, calm down, don't overreact. It's not easy, and whatever decisions or opinions people have, good, but just make sure that we're not spooking the players, and that our players don't need spooking. They need support. They need people backing them at the moment, because history tells us when you do that, they usually more often than not repay that faith.
In terms of the support you talked about on the pitch, I mean, is there any scope in the short term for bringing in support, loan players, even permanent signings in the short term? Perhaps?
Yeah, there is, always is. And Garrett Hetherington and I always discuss these things. We're constantly on with it. But there's a couple of criteria or a couple of things that you've got to bear in mind. One of them is who's available. And then quickly on that topic, why are they available at this stage of the year? And the second one is, if you're going to bring anybody in, you can't just bring them in for a week or two. You're bringing them in longish term. Are they going to be better? Because they're going to be better, not just equally as good. Are they going to be better than what we've already got? And we always run those two factors past any potential list or any name that gets thrown up to us. We, you know, 3 or 4 times a week, whether it be via email or a phone call or word of mouth, there's always somebody being suggested or highlighted or forwarded to us, and we just have to make sure that whoever we bring in is you know, they're available for the right reasons, and they're better than what we've already got.
What sort of a challenge are Catalan going to present at this stage? Then what sort of difficulty is it going to be for you going down there and playing on Saturday?
Just the same as always. Going in their backyard and trying to get a result in their backyard is tough, and playing in front of their crowd is hard. I've got to give the referee some credit. I think over the years that's become less of a challenge for referees, or the referees seem to have got more, they seem to be more resilient about buckling towards the Catalans crowd, which are incredibly vocal out there. And you know, when they bay for a penalty, they usually got it, and it's less so now. I think the referees are a bit more attuned, a bit more conditioned to that. But Catalans themselves are going through a battle. You know, they're trying to gain some momentum as well, so it's going to be a task.